Greetings, viewers. Welcome to the journey uncovering the tragic mysteries of ancient China. 8,000 terracotta figures and countless fallen souls beneath the ruthless and mighty Qin Empire. A massive mercury river promising eternal life became the most devastating poison. Yingzheng had crushed all 6 nations, yet this magnificent king trembled deeply before his own demise. What truly occurred beneath that dark tomb? Let us revisit this profound and tragic history. In the 3rd century BC, Qin horses trampled 6 kingdoms to unify the entire vast realm. From a despised hostage in Zhao, Yingzheng ascended to the absolute peak as Qin Shi Huang. Believing his legacy surpassed ancient sovereigns, he forged a completely centralized empire. Power was forged in iron. He unified the vast realm's currency with standard Ban Liang coins. Small seal script became the only text, binding all 6 nations into one shared ideology. Yet this grand unity was built upon countless fallen souls and absolute, profound cruelty. Urged by Chancellor Li Si, a deeply severe policy was enacted without hesitation. Through Sima Qian's records, burning books and burying scholars turned the empire into a nightmare. Thousands of precious texts from great philosophers were thrown into flames, erasing human knowledge. 400 scholars accused of treason were dragged to Xianyang and ruthlessly buried alive. Desperate screams echoed across the earth as crimson stains dyed the first pages of Qin history. Yingzheng believed strict force was the only true way to maintain order and swiftly crush rebellion. Military rules were incredibly harsh. Qin warriors earned titles based on their defeated foes. Governing through severe punishments left citizens in deep oppression and boundless resentment. Yet, ultimate power on the throne could not conceal the profound weakness hidden deep inside his soul. The emperor who conquered all obstacles now trembled before a completely invisible foe. It was the ruthless limit of aging and the dark obsession with his own approaching demise. Endless failed assassinations completely snapped the paranoid emperor's last thread of sanity. Was there any worthy exchange for the darkened throne he had so painstakingly fought to conquer? The light of grand power slowly yielded to paranoid darkness, sparking an unmatched tragedy. The emperor locked himself inside the grand palace, drowning in illusions of an immortal life. His former wisdom was replaced by blind faith in mystical alchemists crafting their elixirs. Thousands of young boys and girls were placed on giant ships, following Sufu straight into the Eastern Sea. They departed to seek magic herbs on mythical islands, but they would never return home again. While waiting in sheer despair, Yingzheng personally swallowed vivid red pills glowing like crimson fire. The false alchemists claimed that refined cinnabar would make the emperor completely immortal. Yet the harsh truth was that it was a highly lethal poison filled with a massive dose of mercury. The poison steadily seeped into every vein, eroding his final trace of grand strength and reason. His once majestic skin turned a sickly gray, while his sharp eyes held nothing but frantic and wild panic. The more magic herbs he consumed, the more Qin Shi Huang's health deteriorated so tragically. History's bitter paradox was that his strong desire to live became the scythe claiming his tired soul. Knowing he could never escape fate, the emperor focused on building his vast underworld kingdom. it required a massive army protecting him from countless deeply resentful and angry spirits. Thus, countless bones building the throne ultimately served only a solitary and tragic phantom. From age 13, Ying Zheng had already ordered the selection of land to build a tomb at Mount Li. Now, the workload reached brutal limits, mobilizing 700,000 struggling laborers. They worked day and night in suffocating darkness, brutally whipped and exploited until they collapsed. This colossal tomb construction site buried tens of thousands of craftsmen beneath the freezing cold soil. Their deep sorrow and tears blended into the clay, molding one of the world's most magnificent wonders. Did countless innocent souls deserve to perish for an insane illusion of eternal life? Over 2,000 years later, a miraculous chance broke the slumber of the underground army. In the spring of 1974, a humble farmer's hoe struck a hidden ancient artifact. The entire world was utterly shocked upon discovering the colossal terracotta army. 8,000 soldiers, chariots, and horses stood neatly lined within the vast burial pits. Amazingly, no two terracotta faces are entirely identical to one another. From wrinkles and hair knots to expressions, everything was sculpted in extreme detail from real humans. Experts noted the Qin dynasty used a highly systematic industrial production method. Each body part was cast separately in molds, then assembled using a special clay adhesive. Sculptors refined the facial features, ensuring each grand warrior carried a truly unique soul. Their handheld weapons were authentic, chrome-plated to resist rust despite thousands of fading years. But a tragic incident occurred the exact moment these grand statues were brought to the surface. Upon contacting modern air, the vibrant ancient paint completely curled up and peeled away. Within just a few fleeting minutes, the bright reds and greens turned into a faded layer of dust. The grand immortal army surrendered to time's flow, leaving only the rough terracotta hue. This fading acted like a profound curse, reminding us that no grand empire can last forever. The terracotta army was the outer defense, guarding a far more mysterious inner tomb. Even today, exploration drills must halt before the invisible, forbidden bounds of the tomb. No one dares to open the underground palace due to the terrifying warnings in ancient texts. As Sima Qian described, Qin Shi Huang's tomb was intensely deep and completely sealed by a thick bronze shell. The ceiling was inlaid with countless glowing pearls and gems, mimicking the glittering starry sky. Below lay a miniature empire map with hundreds of rivers and seas made of liquid mercury. The vast mercurky's toxicity is enough to vanquish anyone daring to enter. Jing Zheng's grand bronze coffin floated on the silver metal river in a profoundly eerie manner. To protect his eternal sleep, automatic repeating crossbows covered every dark corridor. A slight misstep would trigger the mechanisms, unleashing a shower of highly poisoned arrows. Qin Shi Huang truly transformed his tomb into an impenetrable fortress deep underground. Complex underground traps could not prevent the tragic fall of the Qin dynasty in the world above. In summer 210 BC, the tyrant took his last breath during a grand inspection tour. His sudden departure ignited a fierce and deadly purge right inside the Forbidden Palace. Eunuch Zhao Gao seized the moment, joining Chancellor Li Si to swiftly execute a grand coup. The dark shadow of greed clouded their reason, as they boldly concealed the supreme emperor's demise. To mask the rising scent of death, they used carts filled with rotting fish trailing next to the king's carriage. The final letter passing the throne to his eldest son Fusu was coldly and ruthlessly destroyed. Instead, a forged edict was issued, forcing Prince Fusu and the great general to end their journeys. The foolish youngest son Hu Hai was placed upon the throne, plunging China into a newly darkened era. The Qin Empire that Ying Zheng built with countless sacrifices was now reduced to a mere pile of ashes. Massive peasant uprisings erupted, leaving Shanyang Palace burning fiercely for many months. Grand political legacies vanished, but the secrets beneath Mount Li remained perfectly silent. Qin Shi Huang left a legacy torn between profound ruthlessness and monumental achievements. He symbolized ultimate power, yet embodied the most profoundly tragic delusions. Are those soulless statues guarding his sleep, or silently lamenting their own tragic destiny? The Grand Mercury tomb will perhaps remain buried in time's shadows for another 1,000 years. Ultimate power buried Qin Shi Huang and his immortal army, leaving a tragic collapse. Was he a cruel tyrant or the greatest king? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel today.